These are the contrasts of the Chicago and Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance began in the 1920s, also known as the New Negro Movement. The godfather of the Harlem Renaissance are James Weldon Johnson, W.E.B. Du Bois, Charles S. Johnson, and Elaine Leroy Locke. The Harlem Renaissance consisted of the Cotton Club, and it also had rent parties. Rent parties were basically fundraisers for money for people's rent and other necessities for families. They also had literary parties, which consisted of artists and poets and musicians, and that was their meeting place. Carl Van Vechten influenced the New Negro movement, and he was also the author of Nigger Heaven.
In the Chicago Renaissance, it began in the mid-1930s. It was the center of recording and performing music. The representation for the Chicago Renaissance was the flowering of Negro letters. Richard Wright influenced the Chicago Renaissance. The Chicago Renaissance had the John Reed Club, which was the literary organization of the Communist Party and provided an additional outlet for African American publishing and creativity. The kitchenette symbolizes the social, psychological, and economic threat to destroy African American arrivals in Chicago.
Alright, and these are a couple of similarities between the Chicago and Harlem Renaissance. They both focus on Negro literature, which was presented in both periods. The music, such as jazz played a big role in both periods also, and they were a big part of the African American movement, and they both also had a big influence on the African American culture.
These are the comparisons and the contrasts of the African American Harlem and Chicago Renaissance. I hope you enjoyed.